Launching a business used to take months of planning, but I just did it in 4 hours flat thanks to AI. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. If you're new here, my name is Daryl. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm the founder and CEO of Bigflare, the paid traffic growth agency for founder-driven e-commerce companies. In this video, I'll show you the new business I created, which is called SparkEdge, and I'll show you the tools I used to be able to make it in 4 hours. Stick with me till the end because I'm also going to show you the one tool I ditched. Despite it being one of the most popular AI tools out there right now, I found it utterly useless for the purpose of helping me with this task, and I ditched it. More on that later. But for now, on to the meat and potatoes. First of all, let's quickly cover what this new business actually is. It's called SparkEdge, and it's an affordable, part human, part AI Google Ads management service. 2023 has been a tough year for business, with the USA being rumored to be headed into recession, consumers decreasing discretionary spending and tightening their purse strings, and capital much harder to come by this year as investors shift towards businesses demonstrating higher current profitability instead of just growth. As a result, I've seen many businesses that needed to cut back on their Google Ads management fees. Also, 2023 has been the year of AI. New generative AI systems are making work faster and easier to do if you know how to take advantage of them. SparkEdge is my answer to both of these trends. It's a very affordable way to get your Google Ads campaign managed for you by a real human with more than 7 years experience, and normally that level of help will cost thousands of dollars per month, but by leveraging AI in our processes and streamlining our optimization flow, we're able to offer it for just $650 per month. Here's the MVP landing page I created. Let's hop over to my computer screen. Okay, so I am here on the MVP landing page that I created for SparkEdge using AI in just 4 hours. And just to let you know a little bit about what SparkEdge actually is, so it's about boosting your sales without breaking the bank with Google Ads management service that is primarily human, but we're leveraging some AI for us to be able to bring this at a much more affordable rate than a traditional agency. So my traditional agency is called Bigflare, and I wanted to explain to people what the difference is between SparkEdge and Bigflare is. So you've got the kind of difference there, like you're going to get one account manager instead of having 3 people dedicated to your team. And then in Bigflare, we do like this fully manual, in-depth custom setup and daily optimizations, whereas SparkEdge, we're going to be doing AI-assisted campaign setups and daily monitoring and a standard weekly optimization package. And then a premium agency like Bigflare, you'll probably get a weekly strategy meeting, but for a productized service, which is essentially what SparkEdge is, you're going to get a monthly written report. And this is also that we can deliver it at a much lower rate. And there's a little intake form here. It costs just $650 per month with a $950 setup fee. It's a bit here about who SparkEdge is for. It's essentially for businesses who need a managed service but don't have the budget to pay a premium agency. And then SparkEdge is brought to you by the team at Bigflare, so we put some stuff down here about who we are at Bigflare, like case studies and testimonials. And yeah, this is it. This is the beginnings of the business that I've launched in just 4 hours. And in just a moment, I'm going to dig into the tools that I used to help me do this. To help set this all up, I used 2 different AI tools mostly, and there was one big tool that I ditched because it wasn't up to the task. So let's dive into the tools that I used, and we're going to start with the first one, ChatGPT. All right, so we are here on ChatGPT 4.0. I'm paying the $20 per month to get access to GPT-4, which is a much more powerful and useful version of the model than 3.5. 3.5 is what you'll get if you just go for the free plan, but I highly recommend, if you've got the budget for it, going for the $20 paid plan to give you access to ChatGPT-4. I doubt ChatGPT 3.5 could have written and come up with as many good ideas as ChatGPT did. But how did I go about this? Okay, so what I need out of ChatGPT initially is that copy that you saw on the landing page. I'm not going to let the system do it all on its own, but I do need some help generating the copy, and then I'm going to edit it later on using my human intuition and knowledge. So what I did is I just said, okay, I'm going to write down some text for a landing page I'm building. I'd like you to write the rest of the landing page for me. And I started the job. It didn't have to be polished. I just needed to get the information out there. So I started writing down, okay, this is the service service, there's the price. Should note that there's no percentage of ad spend fee. Here's another big USP of ours. Here's my target audience. Now, this was kind of just stream of consciousness. I'm just kind of typing it in as I go along because I just want to feed all the relevant information into ChatGPT. And then I went even further on starting this task, and I actually just jotted down some of the ideas that I had for actually beginning the landing page. I put down what do I want top of fold, quick explanation of what it is. At this point, by the way, I didn't even have a name for it, so I just put Cheapflare in there as a holding place for the name. We'll come up with the name later in this exact chat. So I wrote down a lot of stuff just to give ChatGPT an idea what I'm on about, and then it comes up with this. So why choose us? Power of AI, human expertise. AI does a great job, but it's our team of Google Ads experts that sets us apart. And I thought as a first draft, this is not bad, but never ever just copy and paste the first thing that comes out of ChatGPT. It needs to be refined always. And the good thing about ChatGPT is that you can refine it right here in the chat. My next thing, at the very top, please add a catchy headline with a short 3 or 4 sentence summary of the service. Just saw that that's obviously needed on the landing page. And ChatGPT came up with this: your affordable growth partner in Google Ads management, revolutionizing PPC for budget-conscious businesses with an AI-powered human-piloted solution. Welcome to Cheapflare. Okay, so it just gave me the top part on its own, so I was like, oh, no, okay, let's write it all as one. I want to see it all as one. So then we get the whole thing all as one, and we're starting to get somewhere, but of course the job is not done at this point. So we have your affordable growth partner in Google Ads management, and what did I come up and say next? Okay, so now I realized, okay, I don't like the name Cheapflare. I want to come up with a new name, and I realized ChatGPT can help me do that. I've already started this chat, so ChatGPT's got a ton of context now. So now I can just ask it, like, suggest me some brand names for this thing. I haven't even got a name yet. And so it starts suggesting names in batches like this. I don't really like any of those ones. I was initially asking for a space theme, didn't like any of these, so I go, okay, forget the space theme. Let's have some other ideas. Okay, some interesting one in there. It should be noted, interestingly enough, this is why you always have to check what the system does. Propel Ads is already a PPC agency. They're a well-established PPC agency. I didn't check all of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these other names are actually existing services or agency. Precision Clicks sounds very much... It's not a bad name, but it's not the right name for this service. Okay, so then I want to highlight the fact that we're using AI. It gave me some AI themes names. Now, I didn't actually like this because I think the AI names suggest that it's a purely AI thing, and it's not. It's part AI, but it's still a human managed service. So then I was like, oh, no, okay, I want a name that says that we're part AI, part human. So then we get stuff like this: Cohesion Clicks, AI plus people. Okay, maybe getting a bit closer. So this is a thing I did. I started just picking out single words in here that I liked, and I was like, more names around that. Gives me some ideas. I was like, maybe trying around the word hybrid. Nothing really gelled. So we went through a few iterations here. Eventually I saw this word spark. Oh, okay. Boost Spark, not bad. I liked that one, but it's not quite there yet. So I had more ideas around the word spark, and then it comes up with this, and I saw here Spark Edge, and I was like, okay, that clicks, that seems right. It has a sort of fiery ignition kind of theme, a bit like Big Flare. It's also a 2-word name, and each word is 1 syllable. So Big Flare, Spark Edge. It's easier to say, and it kind of matches theme and rhythm of Big Flare. So we went with that. Okay. The name is Spark Edge now. Write the landing page for me again, but replace the name Cheapflare with Spark Edge. So here we go, and it's almost there. We're getting there, but we just need one more thing. I think it was headline at the top. Need to communicate right away that this is part human, part AI. So it hadn't communicated that quite well enough in here. So we then got a new headline: Unleash the power of hybrid strategy. And I realized that new headline should really include a benefit or a hook. So here's a new one, and hey presto, now we're getting somewhere, because as you can probably see, that is pretty much the headline we have there. Boost your sales without breaking the bank. Affordable, part human, part AI Google Ads management. Boost your sales without breaking the bank. Spark Edge, your affordable, AI-driven, human-piloted Google Ads solution. So it was close. At this point, it was close enough that I could just take it, and the next step was me manually editing it. So, okay, I changed the headline to this, use that as the headline, write a new first paragraph, and then it came up with this. And this is almost... this was usable. Finally, after all this back and forth, we got something that was usable. I still had to edit it, and I changed bits manually at this point, but essentially I took this, copied it out, put it into the landing page here, and then started tinkering just to make it a little bit better and more human. And that's how we got to having both a landing page and a name, the landing page copy and the name of the business, all done in ChatGPT. All right, so at this point I have my landing page done up, and it's time to create a logo also using AI. My first stop was to Midjourney, which you may have heard of as it's one of the biggest AI design tools out there. Here's what I experienced. All right, so we are in Midjourney over here, and one thing to note about Midjourney is that in order to access their AI, you actually have to use Discord. So this is actually my Discord account. Through their website, it directed me to Discord, and then I connected my Discord account to the Midjourney bot, and then I started going away and creating ideas for a logo. It's a bit weird. When you first go into Midjourney, it directs you to do all your work in these public chat channels. And so originally I was in this public chat channel, like plugging away at this work, and other people were working in there at the same time, and you can see everyone else's work, which is a bit weird. But later I figured out, okay, you can actually just set up a direct message, so you can have a private stream with it. Everything you create though is automatically put up on your profile on their site, so it is technically all public, so just be aware of that. But here you've got an example of what happened when I tried to use Midjourney, which is ultimately why I ended up ditching this tool. It was just not up to the task of doing a logo for me. I did a prompt a bit like this, so here's my prompt here. I go, logo for my company SparkEdge, affordable Google Ads management service, you get this, you get that, it's driven by AI, dependable campaign optimization, it's all just 6 figures. So I'm just giving it some context here, much the same way I did with ChatGPT. And then I tell it the logo should be minimalist with a simple icon on the left and the word SparkEdge on the right in a sans serif font. And I sent that off, and a few seconds later it comes back with these ideas. Actually, this is really similar to the Big Flare logo. That looks a lot like Big Flare's logo, but with different colors. But what you'll notice here is it just completely ignored like half of my prompt. I said it should include the word SparkEdge on the right, and it just didn't do that. And then I tried having a chat with Midjourney the same way I had a chat with ChatGPT to get to where I wanted to, and I was like, add the word SparkEdge to the right of that, and it's nothing. It just ignores. And like earlier I was trying to generate some imagery to demonstrate the idea that it's sort of half human, half machine, kind of like a cyborg. I did a simpler prompt where I was like half man, half machine, facing forwards, vector image. Now Midjourney is good for prompts like this if you're not being too specific, like, you know, man on the left, dog on the right. If it's just the general idea that you want to give it and the style that you want as well, such as vector image, it's pretty good at that, and it does some interesting stuff. But then you try and follow up with, oh, that's great, but can you make it a woman instead of a man? And it's crickets, nothing. It just doesn't do that. It just works one prompt at a time, and you can't have a conversation with it where it remembers the previous stuff. You can like do some stuff, like click a button here if you want to create a variation of number one, and then all it's going to do, it's going to start working away now, and all it's going to do is it's going to take that number one image and then just start spitting out some alternative versions of that, but you don't really get to control it very much. These are going to get higher resolution over time. That's just the early version of that. So yeah, Midjourney dumped it. Needed to find a better AI tool for designing a logo. All right, so Midjourney did not make the cut. At this point, I literally just went out there and I started Googling around for an AI tool that is specifically customized to designing logos. That's how I found logoai.com. Let's take a look at it back over on my computer screen. All right, so here we have my account for logoai.com, and you might recognize this. Yes, that was the logo that we ended up using on the SparkEdge landing page. So if I just click edit here, I can give you a quick look at how simple this tool is to use. You put in your business name, and then it will randomly generate ideas for you. So if you want a different symbol, you've got that there. I think if we just click that again, it will just generate different ideas. Yeah, so, and then your layout, you can change that as well. Doesn't have to be that way around. It will just generate some ideas there. Fonts, It will give you font ideas. I just wanted something, as I told Midjourney, I wanted something minimalist, sans serif, like modern. So there's some ideas there. You can just really easy to just select different things, and then you can manually do the fonts there. You can select from color schemes here, or you can more manually input. Oh, yeah, here are the color schemes, or you can do random, or you can just do some suggestions there. So all really simple, and this took a really short amount of time. You can get your slogan added in there as well if you want, and you can do more manual customization of colors there if you want to. And hey presto, just after about half an hour's work, you've got a new logo, which is very serviceable, very easy. I'd say that's on par with the logo I created for Big Flare that I actually hired a human designer, and like it took a couple of weeks of back and forth to get created, and this did it in like half an hour with no other humans required. And now one cool thing about this tool, I ended up having to buy this, like once the logo is created, you have to buy it for like $70 or $60, I think it was. But what's nice is when you go to download the logo after you've paid, you can also download it in inverted colors or different color schemes, or just the logo version. There's tons of different formats you can choose to download it in. Oh yeah, it was $59 to download this. And then from the tool you can get a manual designer fix if you want to. What I also liked is that it automatically creates Word templates for you and PowerPoint templates for you as well, which is kind of handy. So now we have PowerPoint and Word templates for this new business all done up automatically and as part of this tool. So what are the next steps for SparkEdge? It's all well and good to set something up, but of course the next thing to do is actually get some customers. To that end, we've done a soft launch to our email list, and we have a few leads in the pipeline already from previous leads I've spoken to or ex-clients of Big Flare. Next up will be to create some more content to help let people out there know that this offer exists. Oh, and guess what? Right now you are looking at that first piece of content. We're also in the process of putting together the version 2 of the landing page. The page I showed you earlier was very much a minimum viable product, or MVP. Useful for launching to people who already know, like, and trust us, but it won't cut it for a wider audience who knows nothing about us. So we're in the process of designing up a much nicer version of the landing page, and no, we're not using AI for that. We're doing it the nice old-fashioned way, more manually, and we're using Webflow for it. Once we've got that new landing page up, the next thing to do will be to start using Facebook ads to promote it. We've already done a lot of learning and testing by promoting my premium agency Big Flare via Facebook ads. There's a lot of good learning and data that we have there, and those learnings are going to transpose nicely over to promoting a more mass market service offering and a cheaper service offering like SparkEdge. Now, I will admit it was a bit of hype to say I created this business in 4 hours. It was more like 4 hours plus 10 years. 10 years to build up the team and processes at Big Flare, my premium e-commerce Google Ads agency, and ultimately it's that team plus a selection of those processes that we are going to use to run as the streamlined SparkEdge service. Also 10 years to build up the skills, knowledge, and experience to be able to spot a gap in the market like this one and to be able to immediately fill it. So yeah, after that 10 years, 4 hours is all it took thanks to AI. I would still say AI cut down on the time considerably. Writing the landing page copy, coming up with the name, designing a logo. When I started Big Flare 10 years ago, these tasks took me weeks to complete. I was working with a copywriter, a landing page maker, a logo designer, but now in 2023, I did it in literally 4 hours thanks to AI. If you've enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe for more. And if you'd like to try out SparkEdge, then head over to bigflare.com/SparkEdge and use the form there to get in touch. You'll go right to my personal inbox and we can have a no obligation chat to see if it's a good fit for you. Until next time, everyone, always be testing.